All right. Shalom, family. It's your brother Kanaiba coming at you once again with this video titled The 2023 Grammy Awards, More Veneration of the Divine Feminine. Okay. So, of course, yesterday you had the 2023 Grammy Awards, right? And, you know, I'm going to be honest, I could not watch all of it. I could not stomach it. Okay, it was a hot mess. You know, it's just the level of wickedness that I saw during this Grammy Awards. I mean, this really lets us know we are truly in the last days. Okay, it's a bunch of weirdness and it was too much. Okay, but there were aspects of this Grammy Awards that was, to me, seemed ritualistic. Okay, now this is just my critique. Okay, but I'm looking at this from a spiritual vantage point, you know, based on what I did see. Okay, and it was definitely veneration of the divine feminine. That was clear. Okay, even the day that this took place on. Okay, and we're gonna get into that a little later on. But yeah, the highlight of this veneration of the divine feminine, the highlight was really Beyoncé, you know, in my opinion. Okay, and what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna watch a short clip of her acceptance speech, and it was in this made-up category that she won this award. Okay, we're gonna look at that, and I'm gonna give my critique. But there's certain points throughout this award show I wanna talk about, certain key points. Okay, to actually back up, you know, the title of this video. Okay, but without further ado, let's actually get into this clip of Beyonce's acceptance speech. All right, let's get to it.
Okay. Well, this is an honor.
And why exactly is this an honor? I mean, all you're doing is reading her name from a card. I mean, it just shows you how they venerate these stars as gods and goddesses, okay, within the craft. It makes no sense. But anyway, let's get back to it.
Because we are witnessing history tonight.
And like I said earlier, there's a reason why she had to win this award and break the record on this night, because that's what we're witnessing. This particular award, she broke the record of most Grammys won by an artist, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You know, you brothers can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what's going on here. That's why he said that we're witnessing history tonight, and there's a reason it had to happen on this night, okay, or that night. It's because it was in veneration of the divine feminine. But again, I'm gonna prove what I'm saying here shortly. Okay, so let's get back to it.
Breaking the record for the most Grammy wins of all time. Be upstanding and show your respect. It's Renaissance, Beyoncé.
All right, now I want y'all to peep what she's wearing. Okay, look at this. She's wearing the shimmering silver. Okay, she's wearing silver here, the shimmering silver at that. Okay, now, you know, oftentimes these female celebrities, they'll wear silver or the shimmering silver to these award shows because that represents the moon. Okay, and we know the moon is associated with the divine feminine. Okay, the goddess. Remember, in my video that I did about the mass shooting that happened on the Chinese New Year. Okay, remember the officer or the sheriff that was doing the interview, his last name was Luna, right? Okay, because Luna is the I want to say it was the Roman, I believe the Roman goddess that was associated with the moon. Okay. I know there's a triple goddess archetype there. I believe the goddess Selene is also associated with the moon as well. Okay, but they'll wear the silver or the shimmering silver to denote that she's a goddess figure. I'm talking about these celebrities. Okay, and that is a theme in this Grammys. I've seen. I was watching it and I saw a lot of female celebrities with this silver on. Okay, but we're going to get more into it here in a minute. But anyway, let's continue. All right, so I want y'all to peep the background too. Now, in the background, she's wearing gold. Okay. Now, oftentimes, or most of the time, okay, the divine feminine is associated with the moon. Most of the so-called pagan goddesses are associated with the moon. But there are a small handful that are associated with the sun as well. Okay. And oftentimes Beyonce has dressed up as the so-called goddess Oshun. Okay. Which I believe was a sun goddess of, I believe, West Africa. Okay. That's what you're seeing in the background there. But most of the time, these pagan goddesses are associated with the moon. And that's why she has on the silver here at this award show. Okay. But anyway, let's get back to it.
Thank you so much. I'm trying not to be too emotional. And I'm trying to just receive this night. I want to thank God for protecting me.
And don't y'all believe for 1 minute that she's talking about the God of the Bible, because I guarantee you, I'm 99.99999% sure that she's not talking about the God of the Bible, the Most High Yahweh, the God of Israel. She's not talking about him. Okay, you have to remember, this is the same woman that said in one of her songs, she said she would take the pages from the Bible and use it pretty much as a tampon. Okay, she said something along that effect. Okay, now, you brother, I'm not even going to say you brother, you sisters can correct me if I'm wrong, because I know y'all the ones that listen to Beyonce. Okay, so y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but she said something along those lines. Okay, so how could she possibly be talking about the God of the Bible, thanking him to protect her when she says something like that? Okay, that's not who she's talking about. She's talking about the God that she venerates. Okay, the God that, all of them venerate within the entertainment sphere. Okay, which is Pan. Okay, and the Bacchus. Okay, all those different pagan gods that they actually venerate in that craft. That's who she's talking about. Those gods and so-called goddesses. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to it.
Thank you, God. I'd like to thank my Uncle Johnny, who's not here, but he's here in spirit.
9 times out of 10, somebody she could have had sacrificed. Would not surprise me. Not saying for sure. I don't know. It's just my critique, but you know how they get down in this industry. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd like to thank my parents, my father, my mother, for loving me.
Now, real quick, I want to bring attention to her dress again. Now, if you're looking at her dress, she's definitely letting us know that she plays both the role of the quote-unquote sun goddess and the moon goddess. Okay, look at the upper part of her dress. Okay, the upper part of her dress is more of a a golden, like bronze color, more closer to gold. And if you look at it, it's shaped like a heart. Okay. Now, when you look at the left-hand side within the craft, the heart is associated with what? It's associated with the sun. Okay. And the alchemical metal that's associated with the sun is gold. Okay. So she has a dress that's both gold and silver, but it's mainly silver. Okay, but she's really communicating through that dress that she represents both that sun goddess and the moon goddess. That's why they have her in the gold in the background. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to it.
And pushing me. I'd like to thank my beautiful husband, my beautiful 3 children who are at home watching. I'd like to thank the queer community for your love and for inventing this genre.
Now, did you hear that? She says, I want to thank the queer community for loving me and creating this genre. Now, when she says creating this genre, I guess it's the category that she just won the award for. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is she's thanking this sodomite community. Okay, for loving her. Again, didn't less than 5 minutes ago she said, I want to thank God for protecting me. Okay, but yet less than 5 minutes later, now you're thanking people that he looks at as an abomination. Okay, that's confusion. But again, she represents the divine feminine. That's confusion in and of itself. Okay. But that just goes to show you what they are trying to push upon us. Okay, again, there's an agenda behind this. Okay, they were really pushing feminism and globalism within this award show heavily. Okay, when I say globalism, it's just pretty much the Tower of Babel recycled. That's all they're trying to promote. Okay, everybody coming together and being one, accepting everybody as they are for who they are. And that's off. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to it.
God bless you. Thank you so much to the Grammys.
And this broad had the audacity to say, God bless you. But again, she's not talking about the God of the Bible. She's not talking about the Most High Yahweh. Okay, she doesn't venerate him. She venerates the pagan gods and goddesses of antiquity. Okay, that's what they all pretty much venerate within the entertainment sphere. Okay, and again, it's just my critique. Okay, but that's what they do. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so now what I want to do, I want to bring attention to the host, because he's about to address, Beyoncé winning this award. Okay, it happens right after this. But I actually had to record this part from my TV, so, bear with the quality. But it's what he's about to say is what's most important, because it's going to let us know that this is definitely in veneration of the divine feminine and the diminishing of the divine masculine. Okay, so let's take a look and let's listen to what he's about to say, the host.
Beyoncé has done it, everybody. We were all here to see it, and you were too. You were part of this. She now holds the all-time record for the most Grammy wins. So we can finally end the GOAT debate. It's done now.
Now, notice what he just said, okay? In light of Beyoncé winning this award and breaking the record for most Grammy wins of all times, he said, now we can end the GOAT debate. It's done now, okay? Now, we know on a two-dimensional level, the word GOAT is an acronym that represents greatest of all times. But looking at this from a spiritual vantage point, is still trying to get people to be comfortable with the idea of Pan, okay, which more modernly is known as the Baphomet. Okay, but that's really why he said that. Okay, but he said the debate of who's the GOAT is now over. Now pay very close attention to what he says next, okay? Because this is the point I was making about the veneration of the divine feminine and the diminishing of the divine masculine. Okay, now listen closely.
All right, who's the GOAT? It's Beyonce. It's done. It's not LeBron. It's not Jordan. It's not Tom Brady. It's not Messi. It's Beyonce, okay? It's done. It's officially done.
Now, did y'all hear what he just said? He said the debate about who's the GOAT is done now. He said it's not Michael Jordan, who happens to be a basketball player. It's not LeBron, who happens to be another basketball player, both of which were the number 23, mind you. And this being the year 2023. Think he said that just by coincidence? I think not. Okay. Then he said it's not Tom Brady, a football player. Then he said it's not Messi, who I believe is a soccer player. But here's the point. Why mention them and compare comparance to Beyonce? You know, that's apples and oranges. Okay, she's a musician. Okay, they're athletes. How can you compare the greatest of all times between Beyonce and sports figures? That's apples and oranges. Okay, but he had to do that. Okay, because this represents the diminishing of the divine masculine. Okay, all those men that he just named, of course, in their respective crafts, they are considered to be the quote unquote GOAT. Now, dealing with basketball, you know, most would say Michael Jordan, but you have some that say LeBron. Okay, the more younger generations may gravitate more towards LeBron. Okay, but those of us who were lucky enough to actually see both live, like myself, I would say Michael Jordan. Okay, but again, then he mentioned Tom Brady, who's considered the quote unquote GOAT within football. Or this guy, Messi, who I believe is considered the GOAT within soccer. Okay, but the point being is, why compare these men whom are not musicians to Beyonce when debating who's the GOAT? Okay, it made no sense. But looking at this from a spiritual vantage point, it does make sense when you're trying to venerate the divine feminine. Okay? But anyway, now I want to bring out a bit of information to further prove that Beyonce is considered a quote-unquote goddess figure within the craft on the left-hand side. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, as we know, Beyonce, she goes by the nickname of Queen Bee, correct? Now, a lot of people will say, well, that's because her first name begins with the B, Kaniba. Well, you know, looking at this from a two-dimensional perspective, you would be correct, okay? But there's a reason. There's a three-dimensional understanding, a spiritual understanding as to why she refers to herself as Queen Bee. Okay, so let's get a bit of information about bees. Okay, and it reads, it says bees as a symbol of the divine feminine. It says bees are often considered a symbol of the goddess or divine feminine, because they are ruled by queens. Hence, Beyonce is called Queen Bee. I told you she represents a goddess figure, the divine feminine, okay, on the left-hand side. Okay, that's why everybody was in awe at her, and especially her winning that award, okay? It's because she's a so-called goddess figure within the entertainment sphere. Okay? So it goes on to say, in particular, They are associated with the goddess Venus. Please make a mental note of that because that's very important. Okay? It says, I'm going to read that part again. It says they are associated with the goddess Venus because part of their labor is the indirect fertilization of flowers, all of which come under the dominion of Venus. Okay, now why is that important? The bees are associated with the goddess Venus. There's a reason for that. Okay. Now, let's go to the next performance that happened right after Beyoncé winning that award. Who was it? It was Mary J. Blige. Okay, so let's take a look here. Now, off rip, as her performance begins, okay, they have this light shining down on her, like illumination, letting you know she's playing a goddess figure as well, okay, and she's descending down upon a platform that's shaped like an inverted triangle. Now, why is that important? That's important because the inverted triangle or the upside down triangle represents the divine feminine. Okay, you guys can look that up on your own, but if you do your research, you'll find out that the inverted triangle represents the mother goddess, the divine feminine. Okay, it's a shape that's supposed to represent the woman's female or reproductive organ, her vagina. Believe it or not. Okay, so that's what that symbol represents, and that's why they have her on top of it descending down, because she's representing the divine feminine, a mother goddess figure. Okay, but anyway, let's continue with the performance. Now, I want to bring your attention to the dress that Miss Mary J. Blige is wearing. Okay, notice she's wearing a diamond-studded dress. Okay, now that's very important. Okay, let's bring it on home. Let's link all this up together. Okay, because there's a reason she had to perform this wearing what she's wearing right after Beyonce's historic moment. Okay, because it all links up, right? I brought out the fact that, of course, Beyonce is called Queen Bee and how that's associated with the divine feminine, right? Because we looked at that article, and the article said that it also said that bees are associated with Venus, correct? Now, this is why I'm bringing your attention to the dress that Mary J. Blige is wearing, okay? Well, you may be thinking, well, what does her dress have to do with Beyonce, bees, and Venus, and all this other stuff? Well, let's take a look, shall we? So here is a bit of information about diamonds, and it reads, according to Indian Vedic astrology, the diamond is the designated gemstone that represents the planet Venus. Allow me to repeat that part. The diamond is the designated gemstone that represents the planet Venus. Hook, line, sinker. Okay, let's finish it out. It says, or Shukra Graha, I believe that's how I say it. It says, and is the symbol of beauty and femininity. Now do you understand why Mary J. Blige had to wear that diamond-studded dress right after Beyoncé, or the Queen Bee's historic win. Okay, because again, Beyoncé, her nickname is what? The Queen Bee. And we know that bees, according to that article, bees are associated with the mother goddess, the divine feminine. And bees are also associated with Venus. Okay? And this is why Mary J. Blige had to come down with that diamond-studded dress, because diamonds are the gemstone that represent Venus. Okay? And we know Venus is also the name of a Roman goddess, in which that particular planet is named after that particular Roman goddess. Okay, because these two women, they both represent the same thing, the divine feminine. They're mother goddess figures within the entertainment sphere. Okay? And again, there's a reason, going back to Beyoncé, she's called the Queen Bee, right? And what is her loyal fans referred to? The beehive. Okay, because again, her job is to get her fans to be microcosms of the mother goddess. I've said this in past videos. Okay, I said this about Oprah in one of my more recent videos. Her job is the same thing. All these women in the entertainment sphere, they have the same job. Okay? They're trying to get you women to be microcosms of the mother goddess. Okay? So now that we have that information, let's move forward to Miss Lizzo. Okay? Because she actually won, I believe, a couple of awards. I could be wrong, but I want to deal with this last award that she won, I believe, for her song About Damn Time. Okay, so what I want to put emphasis on, because I'm not gonna play her acceptance speech. It was annoying as hell, and I'm not going through that again. Okay. But what I want to put emphasis on is her dress. Okay, she's wearing the silver. Okay, and even when you look at the backdrop, okay, of the stage here, look at the headpiece that she's wearing. Okay, the headpiece is the shimmering silver, right? Now, you all may be wondering, Kaniba, why do you keep bringing up the dress code of the silver and the shimmering silver? What does that have to do with the award show? Okay, what does that have to do with your video? Well, just be patient. Okay, I'm gonna get to it. Just be patient with me. Okay, so now we're gonna fast forward to the First Lady, Jill Biden. Okay, and she was there, and she presented this award to, I believe, this Iranian dude for this song that he actually wrote. And pretty much what the song was supposed to represent was the so-called social issues we have in the world, or as she said, so to speak. Okay, and pretty much what she said is this guy's song represented, it represented women, life, and freedom. Okay, again, pushing, all it's doing is the veneration of the divine feminine. Okay, I'm not gonna play her speech as well for time's sake, but you all can go back and actually listen to what she actually said. Okay, but it's all promotion of the divine feminine. Okay, but I really want to put emphasis on what she's wearing. Okay, it appears that she's wearing the shimmering silver as well. Okay, and again, there's a reason for that. Okay, and we're about to get into that reason right now. Okay, so let's get to it. So here is a bit of information about the metal silver, and it reads: why is silver associated with the moon? Allow me to repeat that part. Why is silver associated with the moon? Here we go. The reflected light of the moon glows with the same luminance as the metal silver. And in the ancient world, there were no coincidences. So, silver and the moon have been linked for a long time. Silver represents the moon. Even dealing with alchemy, silver is the alchemical metal that represents the moon. Now it should make sense why all those women I showed in that in the award show, the Grammys, they wore silver, mainly shimmering silver. Okay, because silver represents the moon. Okay, and we already know that the moon represents the divine feminine. It represents the so-called mother goddess. Okay, I touched on that in my video about the mass shooting on the Chinese New Year. Okay, remember again, the sheriff that was doing the interview, his last name was Luna. Okay, because that was a lunar New Year. Okay, but yeah, silver represents the moon. Okay, that's why those women, especially Beyoncé, she had to wear that shimmering silver. It represents the moon, which represents the divine feminine, the so-called mother goddess. Okay? Now, if that's not enough, if you're still doubting, allow me to put the icing on the cake. Okay? This award show, it happened last night on February the 5th, correct? What was special about February the 5th? What happened yesterday? Well, let's take a look, shall we? So what you're gonna find out is yesterday, Sunday, February the 5th, was a full moon. Okay? But not just any full moon. Okay, let's actually read the article here, shall we? It says, February's full snow moon rises on Sunday, February the 5th. Was not the award show yesterday, Sunday, February the 5th? And it says, and will be the smallest full moon of the year, thanks to the current position of the moon in its orbit. Its distance from the Earth will make this snow moon a micro moon, the opposite of a super moon. Okay? But the point being is yesterday was indeed a full moon. Okay? Now you should understand why I made the statement in the beginning of this video that Beyoncé had to have this historic moment and break this record on the day that she did. That's why she wore the shimmering silver on that day. Okay? Because it was a new moon. And we know the moon represents the divine feminine, the mother goddess. Okay, now do you see how all of this links up? Okay, and we know on the left-hand side within the craft, full moons, new moons, they pay very close attention to those things. Those days are very important to them. Okay, that's why I said this was very ritualistic in nature. Okay? But anyway, I believe this is a good place to end the video. And again, the title of this video is the 2023 Grammy Awards, More Veneration of the Divine Feminine. Okay? And again, this award show, it pretty much just gives even more context to, my last few videos. Okay, again, it's just more veneration of the divine feminine. Okay, simply looking at what happened with Beyonce, the historic moment that she had on the day that this happened, which was a new moon. Her wearing the shimmering silver, along with Lizzo and the First Lady, and Mary J. Blige wearing the diamond-studded dress. All of it was really ritualistic. Okay, they're all playing mother goddess figures, so to speak. Okay, and it's just so telling that all of this is happening, not too long after that statue was erected on top of the courthouse in Manhattan, New York. Okay, which was not too long, which that happened not too long after the Chinese New Year and that mass shooting. Okay, it's just all of this is just linking up back to back to back. Okay, then not to mention this month, or I believe next week actually, you have the Super Bowl. Okay, in which I believe the star that will be performing during halftime is going to be Rihanna. Okay, another so-called mother goddess figure in the entertainment sphere. Okay, so this is around that time they have a lot of ritualistic stuff happening. Okay, so it's just more stuff to look out for here in the near future. Okay, so with that, and as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, and I do so by Hashem, which means in the name of Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, whom the world knows as Jesus Christ. And I want to thank all you brothers and sisters for tuning in. I hope this video was informative and edifying. And until next time, Shalom, family.